It's actually been a while since the sky's been like this. I bumped into some interesting stuff today. I was just checking the DJI forum because I would assume a lot of people would be getting their Mavic 2s now, so I was just kind of curious just to see what the general reaction is in terms of things like quality. At the same time, I know even for myself, usually when you get things like the first generation, they're full of bugs and stuff like that, so I'm just wondering if there's anything wrong with it. And then I kept reading all this stuff about drone attacks, and I was like, what's this all about? So apparently there's a problem, well, I guess the drones in general, I'm assuming with the software, where people have been using things like the active track, and then for some reason, I guess the drone decides to go crazy, and you can see in so many of these videos, the drone just goes right towards the target, like almost hitting them, in some cases where they actually did hit them. It looked like this first video, the drone basically, the guy hit his own daughter, for example. I think basically it got caught in her hair or something like that. That's crazy. Just look how fast it goes, like just unexpected. One concerning thing about stuff like this is just from my experience and what I saw, a lot of times when stuff like this happens, it seems like a lot of companies just say, oh, you know, user fault. Same thing with like fans of the product. They'll say, oh, user error, my drone's working perfect or whatever. But you can see so many more people posted like clips of it. That's crazy. Like another one where a guy almost hit his son with the drone. Like again, it just had that same kind of zoom effect. There's one where it was a guy on a boat. I guess he was doing, again, active track, and all of a sudden he zips by. You can see how fast he picked up the controller. And another example where the guy was, it looked like in a park or something like that, just following, looks perfect, and all of a sudden, whoosh, it's like they don't even notice it in many cases. And then one of them was a fortunate situation. Well, not fortunate in terms of the thing screwing up, but it looked like he was completely oblivious with his two daughters or something like that. It just came zooming forward, and then all of a sudden it stopped. You can see how terrified they were afterwards to realize it. But it seemed like the obstacle avoidance kicked in, so that was fortunate. But still, holy cow, that is nuts. Kind of reminds me again why I'm so paranoid in using those autonomous modes like those follow me's. Although I have used it before and I haven't had any issues, I did it more just for a test as opposed to use it in an actual real, I guess, film that I would want to actually use. But man, it makes you wonder, are you afraid of using stuff like that? Hopefully companies take this really seriously too. They did post a reply to it. I don't know, maybe it's just a choice of wording, but it sounds kind of weird. This one here says, "Sorry for the late response and we sincerely apologize for the accident. Please kindly send your daughter to the hospital and examine." Again, maybe it's just a choice of words, but it sounds so procedural, like the way it was written there. It's almost like, okay, yeah, it happens, like just get it checked out. If it's a company, I'd be like, okay, that's it, we're turning off this feature with an emergency firmware update now until we figure out what's wrong. For myself, since flying it, when it comes to things like safety and stuff, I'm not even so much concerned about, like for myself flying it, whether or not something's gonna go wrong. It's manufactured defects or software defects like this that I'd be worried about personally. Hopefully they deal with it though, because again, when you just go into that little phase of, oh no, it's your fault, mine works perfect, and you must be doing something wrong. I mean, you will have stuff like this happening. Still amazed at how those seagulls can stay so cool compared to the ducks and everything like that. Alright, see you guys later.